Hi everyone, my name is Sara Nobrega. I'm a software engineer at xgeeks. I'm a full stack developer. I already developed some POCs with generative AI. And today I'm going to talk about enterprise information retrieval with Azure AI Search. Okay, so today we are going to talk about a problem that a customer of ours had, our approach to that problem, and then, last but not least, I will do a demo for you. So starting with the problem, our customer is a Valve seller, and they have a support team to help their customers every time they need. And basically the process starts when the customer needs some support. They reach out to the support team, and then the support team needs to search for the document that might have the answer that they need. It's not that simple because for each product they have a file for each language. They have a file for English, for German, and also they have a file for operation instructions and datasheets for each product. So among all those files, they have to find the right one. After finding the document, they need to find the answer in the document, and this also can be a little bit difficult because the answer can be in the text, in images, or in the tables. Okay, and then after all of these steps and a lot of time later, they can finally reply back to the customer. So, as you may notice, the problem is the time the support team takes to answer their customers. So this is where AI comes to help. Basically, by streamlining and automating all of these steps, we are going to reduce the feedback loop between the support team and the customer. And we are also going to improve the customer satisfaction, of course. But how can we do that? So our idea was to build a chatbot powered by AI to increase the responsiveness every time a supporter was looking for datasheets or operation instructions. So now that we know what the problem is, I'm going to show you what was our approach. So this app needs to do some things. This needs to understand what is the product the user is referring in the question. Needs to get the right file with the language that the question has also. Needs to retrieve the answer so the supporter can then answer their customer, and also needs to render the document content to show where the information came from. So what do we need to build this solution? We, of course, need a front end that is going to be our chatbot interface. Then we need an API that is going to receive the request from the front end and also is going to get our data. Then we need a space to search our files. So we can show them, as I was saying, on the front end to show where the information came from. We need a search engine to turn our data into vectors. That is basically the number representation of the data. We also need this search engine to be able to save some metadata, for example, the product name, so we can then identify well the file. And also, we need this search engine to be able to filter for these parameters. Also, we need an LLM, so we can give them context and get our answer back to retrieve in the chatbot. And one of the requirements of our customer was to have this solution within Azure environment. So for file storage, our choice was Azure Blob Storage. It's basically a storage solution for the cloud, and you can store a large amount of unstructured data. And this is exactly what we needed, because we wanted to save our files. The rest of the data we were already have a space to do it on the search engine, on the index. And also we needed a place where we could easily access the files, because they originally were in the customer's SharePoint. So this way they were more easily accessed. Then for the search engine, we have Azure AI Search. That is basically an information retrieval platform as an indexing engine, what turns the data into vectors. Allows us to save some metadata, as I was saying, product name, file type, everything that you need to save other than the data and the vectors. Has great search capabilities, and we chose it because it allows us to save our data, our embeddings, our metadata all in the same place, has great search capabilities, and provides fast and accurate results. Then for the LLM, we chose Azure OpenAI. It basically provides us access to all OpenAI's models, and it has the advantage that is more secure, so it's more suitable for enterprise applications. So in the end, this is what basically our app looks like. We have the front end in Next.js, just for the reason that I was already familiar with it. Then for the API, we have in Python, because in the time that I developed this, Python had more documentation regarding the integration with GenAI, and also because I already implemented some POCs with Python. Then we also use LangChain as our orchestrator. And then, as I was saying before, we use Azure AI Search as the search engine, Blob Storage as the file storage, and Azure OpenAI as the LLM. So before we are able to use our chat, we need to do the ingestion part. So for the Blob Storage, we just iterate through all of the documents and then upload the document by page. I did by page just because this way I can show on the front end each page where the information came from. Then for the Azure AI Search part, we also iterate through all of the documents. We get the product name, the file type, and the language from the file name. And then we create and store the embeddings. Also, we do this by page. For the embeddings, we use the text embedding ADA002 from OpenAI. Yeah, that's basically it. Now the flow of the application. Everything starts with the user question, the supporter in this case. This question is going to trigger the API request. After that, we need to identify what is the language, the product, and the file category by the question. How we do this? To identify this, we do separate requests to the LLM. So we do a request to identify what is the language in the question. We say what are the possible languages to the model, and he returns the language that he thinks it has in the question. Then we do the same for the product and the file category. And after that, we identify the request type, because it can be search or Q&A. If it's a search, it's because I want just the chatbot to return me a document. If it's a Q&A, it's because I want to know something specific about the product, and I will do a question. So when it's a search, we do a search with the question and the filters to Azure AI Search, and then it will return the top 5 pages because, as I said before, we did the indexing by page. And after that, it will return the relevant documents. Then when the request type it's a Q&A, we are also going to do the search with the question and the filters, going to return the top 5 pages, and then we send those pages as context to the LLM plus the question, and we return back the answer with the sources. So this was basically a POC, but we think we provided a solution that improves already the search and the response time of the support team. But we can already identify some things that we can do in the future to improve this solution. So to optimize performance, we can use cache. By doing this, we avoid doing calls like if I do the same question twice. If I use a cache, I will not do the call to the LLM twice because I already have the answer cached. We can also optimize costs and speed. Basically, we can use different models for different tasks. For example, to identify the product and the language, I could use a different model like GPT 3.5 Turbo, for example, and then to get the answer, use the GPT-4, something like that. And that could reduce the costs and improve the speed. And we could also train and fine-tune an LLM model to save on token consumption, request latency, and improve our output quality. Okay, now I will do a demo. Okay, so this is the Azure AI Search, and this is, as I said before, we have the metadata, the title, the name on the blob storage, the product. In this case, we don't have a category, but we could, and the language. This is what we are going to filter on the code to get the results we want. And this is the chat. I have some questions. This is difficult this way. Did I? Yes, I did something. I will do a question. This is a live demo, so pray for me for this to work. This takes a bit, but yeah, it's doing the process I told you before. It's recognizing the model and all of that. And now we can see the sources where it got the information, and we can click on it and wait a bit again. Okay? And now we can see where he got the information from. And if I choose, oh God, another page, you can see different information where he got. I forgot to mention, but the files that we have here, it's basically 2 manuals, one in English and one in German. One manual for a printer and another one for a smartphone. So that's why this question is about the smartphone, this model, A55F. And basically, I did a question regarding the components listed because I know this information is on the document. And you can see where it grabbed the information. We can now do another question. For example, this one I know it's regarding the printer and not the smartphone. We can do it here. It takes a bit. And now, if I click on it, you can see, so the question is regarding misformed characters, and you can see that we have information regarding that in this page. It's the 54, as you can see here. So yeah, I think that's basically it. Can go again for the... Yeah, you have my email here. Feel free to reach out. That's all. Hope you liked it. Thank you.